You ever feel like you're talking to a broken record when you use an AI chatbot? You ask for something cool, something creative, and you just get the same boring answer over and over again. Super frustrating, right? But what if I told you the problem isn't really a glitch in the AI, but a blind spot in us? And what if the fix is a ridiculously simple trick you can start using, like right now? Let's get into it.
Okay, check this out. On the left, we asked an AI for 5 coffee jokes. What did we get? The exact same punchline 5 times in a row. So boring. But on the right, we used a slightly different prompt, and boom, 5 totally unique, actually kind of clever jokes. So what on earth is going on here? How does one tiny change in how we ask create such a massive difference in creativity?
Well, this isn't just some random bug. It's actually a really well-known phenomenon, and it even has a specific name. It's called mode collapse, and you can think of it as the AI getting stuck in a creative rut. It finds a safe, correct answer and just sticks to it. See, when these powerful models are trained for safety and helpfulness, they can sometimes lose that raw, diverse creativity they started with. They become repetitive.
So that brings us to the big question. Is this just a flaw in the AI's code? Is there something fundamentally broken in how these things are built? Well, the answer is probably not what you're thinking. The real culprit is a lot closer to home. Turns out the problem isn't really the AI, it's us. Or, to be more precise, it's a hidden bias in our own brains that we've been accidentally teaching our AI assistants. It's called typicality bias. This is a real thing from cognitive psychology. You know how you start liking a song more just because you've heard it a bunch of times? It's kind of like that. We have this subconscious preference for things that feel familiar, predictable, and easy to understand. And when we're training AIs, that little bias has a huge unintended consequence. So here's how it all goes down. The AI starts out with a whole bunch of possible answers. A, B, C, D, you name it. But during training, human raters, influenced by our own typical bias, keep rewarding answer A because it just feels the most, well, typical. So the AI learns a very simple lesson. To be helpful, just give them A every time. It narrows its focus, and boom, mode collapse. We've literally trained the creativity right out of it without even realizing it. But here's the really cool part. Researchers found a brilliantly simple way to get around this problem, and you don't need to do any new training at all. It's called verbalized sampling. This is it. This is the magic phrase. Instead of just asking for an answer, you ask for a set of answers, and you ask for their probabilities. It seems like such a small change, but it completely reframes the entire task for the AI. See, by asking for a whole distribution, you're not asking for the single best or most typical answer anymore. You're basically prompting the AI to look at its entire library of knowledge, all that diverse, creative stuff it learned before our typicality bias got in the way. You're telling it to bypass its own safety training and show you everything it's really capable of. And what happens when you do this? Well, the results are honestly pretty staggering. You basically get a much more creative machine. Take a look at this. On the left, a standard prompt for a story about a bear gives us 3 stories that are almost identical. An old bear in a forest. Yawn. Predictable, right? But on the right, using verbalized sampling, the creativity just explodes. We get a bear who's a tax accountant, a spirit bear made of stars, a bear in a forest of glass. Suddenly, the AI is unlocked. And this isn't just us saying it feels more creative, the numbers actually back it up. The data shows that verbalized sampling boosts creative diversity by up to 2.1 times compared to just asking directly. That is a huge, measurable jump across poems, stories, and jokes. And get this one simple trick recovers nearly 67% of the base AI model's original diversity. That's all the creativity that was kind of squashed when it was trained to be helpful. That's a massive amount of potential that was just sitting there, completely hidden from us. This technique isn't just for text either. It also works for generating more creative images. A direct prompt for an astronaut on a horse pretty much always gives you prompts for photorealistic desert scenes. But with verbalized sampling, the AI suggests prompts for totally different styles. A watercolor storybook, a retro-futurist image, even a Baroque painting. More diverse language leads to more diverse art. It's that simple. And it goes way beyond just creative stuff. This makes dialogue simulations feel more human and get better results. For Q&A, instead of just giving you the most common answers, it finds a wider range of correct ones. It can even generate better synthetic data that improves the performance of other AI models. So this is a really fundamental improvement. So what's the big takeaway here?
This discovery isn't just some neat party trick. It actually tells us something really profound about how we should be interacting with AI.
So let's wrap this all up. The big thing to remember is that the AI's repetition problem, well, it isn't really its fault. It's a mirror reflecting our own cognitive bias. We've accidentally been teaching it to be less creative. But by just asking for a distribution of answers, we can unlock all this hidden potential, improving everything from art to science. It proves that how we ask questions is just as important as the technology we're asking.
And that leaves us with this one last, really thought-provoking question. If a simple change in the way we ask a question can unlock this much hidden potential, it just makes you wonder, right? What other incredible abilities are just sitting there waiting to be discovered, not by building a better AI, but just by asking a better question?